to Stream It. This is episode 4. This week we got some great new shows. We have Love we're going to talk about, which is a Netflix show that me and Cam have seen. Tom has not.
True.
He's going to learn about it today. Secondly, we're going to talk about Friday Night Lights.
Epic.
I've never seen it. I've heard a lot about it. Excited to learn more.
Put that in the old classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we just have some cool streaming services news that we're going to talk about at the end. Just in general, learn what's going on. But first, how you guys been doing? You watching any new shows besides the ones we've talked about?
I'm doing great, and funny you should ask. I have. I just, you guys will be happy to know that I take streaming very seriously, and I binged an entire series last Sunday.
You told us that on Monday. And
Yeah, it was a commitment. It was a rainy day, a rainy Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, why not? But it was the new Netflix apocalypse show called Daybreak or Daybreakers. I don't know.
Okay.
I only saw the title once because I just let it run. Skip intro. Next.
Did Netflix ever ask you, are you still there?
I think maybe they did once, but
Okay.
we were
That means you legitimately
there.
you didn't pause it. You didn't,
I mean, there were some snacks flowing, and it was good, but yeah, it was great. Maybe we'll talk about that once you guys catch up. I don't know.
Sorry.
But that was good. And the other show I actually saw recently was that HBO just came out with a Watchmen, or it's
two episodes in?
2 episodes in. The HBO likes that release one a week,
Yeah.
so that's like a Sunday night thing.
How is it? I've heard it's interesting.
It is interesting. There's like some racial discrimination stuff going on. It's kind of about like Black history and in Oklahoma and this whole intricate story that they're kind of weaving. But yeah, it's good. There's like a kind of a vigilante vibe. I don't really know a lot about Watchmen.
Neither do I. There was a movie
And it's like a
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's like a DC series.
Yeah, it's a comic book.
I mean, a DC comic book.
Yeah.
There was a movie, a couple of years ago, and then was there another? I don't know how many Watchmen type things there are.
No, I think it's always. I think there's fans of the Watchmen are like, this is so great, and it's just not. It hasn't been done right.
Yeah.
So
We were saying that earlier when we were talking about that the movie had some weird reviews, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think it was very controversial. A lot of
Right.
people really hated it.
I didn't like
Yeah.
it when I saw it, and I haven't seen it since. And I think I've just heard Watchmen didn't really get its due.
yeah.
Be interested to watch it again.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I watched the first 2 episodes, and it is a bit of a complicated thing that they're telling, and I definitely have some questions, but that's good TV, I guess. Like, you want to be looking for more and wondering what's going to happen next. But it's good, it's intense, so maybe check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
So I have. What did I do? I buzzed through Big Mouth recently, season 3, and then I finished The Boys.
Oh,
your
yeah,
recommendation
Prime Video.
on Prime. That was really good.
Yeah, that one's intense too.
Real cliffhanger. I think.
Yeah, surprise. Yeah.
But one that I'm just about finished with, and it's a personal favorite of mine, is Peaky Blinders.
Oh,
They
I
came
haven't
back with
seen
the
that.
5th season, and it's just awesome again. It's, if you don't know, it's about a crime family in early 20th century Britain, but they weave in different things. So they're just a British crime family, and then some seasons they're dealing with a Jewish crime syndicate, and then Italian Americans come across the Atlantic Ocean in a season, and this season they're kind of dealing with like the government, and
Wow.
it's all takes place it starts right after the main character gets back from World War I. So it's really good, really well done. And the best part is it's 6 episodes because it's a British show. That's how they do it.
That's so nice.
So yeah, it's 6 50-minute episodes, and you can
Breeze right through
yeah,
that. Yeah.
it's really great. Cillian Murphy, he was Scarecrow in the Christopher Nolan series.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He was in Dunkirk. He plays the main character. Adrian Brody's been in it. Tom Hardy is a recurring character. It's really
I
good.
like Tom Hardy.
Yeah. So I highly recommend Peaky Blinders.
Good to know.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
I'll
my
check
dad
that out.
watched that in like a weekend.
Yeah.
Like last year.
Well, that's
on
how it is.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's so great when it's 6
That's
episodes.
what you got to do.
Yeah.
What
so,
about you?
I'm watching Breaking Bad for the first time.
Yes.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
I think I'm almost done with season 2.
Nice.
Nice.
So that's
Oh, so
been
it's starting to
cool.
pick up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I really like Jesse. I feel like he's the only character that like hasn't annoyed me yet or
Yeah.
like made me hate
Yeah.
him yet. Like
Yeah, Jesse's great.
he's consistently really good. So I really like that. It's not what I expected. Like I don't know what I expected, but it's better than I
Yeah.
Which
I
is-
don't
yeah.
know. Yeah, like
I foresee that one when you're finished making it onto the show here.
Yes.
oh yeah.
That's one
Yes,
of our
I can't
favorites, I
wait.
think.
Definitely.
And it's if once season 2 ends, it is just an apex show for the next like 3 seasons, the
Yeah.
last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Every season just gets better and better and better. I'm so excited you're watching
Yeah,
that.
that's exciting for you.
And I actually saw a few episodes of Better Call Saul like years ago when it came out with my brother. So I knew like I had no idea what was going on, but I know that there's so many new characters that do join, and
Yeah.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
So I'm
right.
excited to see.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Better Call Saul's awesome too, and that's on Netflix.
I haven't seen
I
that
really
one.
liked it. Didn't really get it, but I liked
Yeah.
it a lot. I like that actor a lot.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool. And then I've also been watching Castle Rock.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Not to like plug myself, but it's good. It's on tonight again.
So
Oh,
do
wow.
they release that weekly?
Yep.
Okay.
So it came out like this morning, I think, and then you just watch it whenever.
I have like 30 minutes left to this season of Peaky Blinders. Maybe I'll watch that.
Yeah,
It's really good. It's creepy.
I'd like to check that one out. I've seen the trailers. Actually, the season was shot around here, right? Like
Yep.
in the area.
All
So
of Massachusetts and
Yeah.
a lot of Hudson. There's actually a house that's shown very frequently. Like some of the main characters live in a house that's just by Farley.
Oh,
that's
wow.
really cool.
Yeah.
I think one of the drone shots in the trailer was just Clinton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
You
Clinton
can see
stuff.
the mill, yeah.
So
awesome. That's cool. Hudson's getting a name, maybe
Yeah.
a name for
Hollywoodese.
itself.
some
yeah.
recognition. Yeah, Hollywood East. There you go.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess we can jump right into
Yeah.
our first segment, Love, which is on Netflix, and I love so
I love
much.
Love too.
I've watched it, I think,
Happy for you,
honestly,
too.
like 5 times. I've
Oh,
seen
wow.
it because it's really short. It's 3
Yeah.
seasons. There's 10 episodes, I think, in each season, maybe, or even
That
less.
sounds right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just funny. It was like my college show that I would just put
Yeah.
on just while I was doing stuff, and it's so good.
It is good.
I
I
don't know where to start.
I don't even know why I stumbled upon it. Just like Netflix recommended, which is great. I love that because you're like it gives you stuff that you're into. And one of the draws for me was the Judd Apatow is the producer of it, or
Oh.
director or producer.
I think he does it all.
He's involved.
Yeah, he created
He's the
it,
guy.
wrote it. Him
And-
and Gus, the lead actor.
Right, right,
Yep.
Gus. So that was, I think, what piqued my interest. Is I just like what he's done in the past with the different comedies he's done, and then what's the 80s show there?
Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks. So
Yeah.
like anything up that alley. I mean, it's not really like that, but yeah, I like it. So for these sections, we were going to say that because you haven't seen it, that you should maybe prompt us with our
Prompt us?
questions. What do you
No
think?
pressure.
Yeah, no. Welcome to the
Get an education here.
welcome to the afternoon show with Tom. What did you like about it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think my favorite part, just it's so like vague to say this, but I just really love the characters. I think that it's 2 of like my favorite like written characters I've seen in a long time. Just about like it's a normal like show, I guess. It's just these 2 people who are living in LA, but they're so well written, and just like the development that they have throughout the seasons is so good. My favorite though is Mickey is the girl, and she's played by Gillian Jacobs. Which, did you ever watch Community?
I've seen an episode or 2.
Okay, well you. All right, well
Yeah.
there's a blonde girl in it, and her
Okay.
name's Britta. I don't know if you remember her, but she was so funny. She's such a good like comedy actress, but she took on like such a, I guess, a dramatic role at times in this
Yeah.
show. Like it's very serious. She's a very flawed character.
Yeah.
She has a lot of like personal issues that she's dealing with, and then she kind of just sets her eyes on this guy who's just not her type at all. Gus.
Right.
He's like the definition of like a nerd, I guess. And it just like changes her throughout like the whole season and series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like I kind of like actually that you haven't seen it, because I feel like when we were talking about the shows before, it was more maybe we left out some of the details, but because you haven't seen it, I feel like we almost have to dive in a little deeper. So I'll say that like, so Gus works. They're both living in LA. Gus is a teacher on a film set. So there's like a child actress.
Sorry, my eyes are watering looking at your eye, but go ahead.
Got an eye issue. So he's a teacher, like a tutor, on a film set, right? And then Jillian works at or not Jillian, what's her name in the show? Mickey.
Mickey, yeah.
Works at a radio station in LA, and then it's just kind of like how they met and how this like sort of romance started. And then like you were saying, two super unlikely, like he's a nerd, plays like in a band and likes like Star Wars and like all like, not, we love Star Wars here too, so
Yeah,
but like just like very cliche nerdy and like glasses and everything. And then she's like, I think she has kind of a drug issue and drinks a lot, but she's so likable. I think it's her like sarcasm and just she kind of says like F the world almost, like she's kind of fed up and like just trying to get through and get by, and she just ends up being this like really sarcastic, funny person, and it juxtaposes Gus, who's kind of this happy-go-lucky, everything's fine kind of like nerdy character.
That'll be $235.
Dude, I don't have my wallet. Can I pay you back later?
This isn't a charity.
Well, you know me, dude. I'm good for it. I'll come right back.
Hey, you know what? I got this.
Okay.
And a pack of cigarettes?
So that's like kind of the background.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna agree that that's, to answer the question, what we like about it, right? Is that bring it all back, is that she kind of makes the show. We like Gus, and some of the other characters are good, but Mickey just is a very unique character in the way that she like I was saying, is kind of sarcastic, kind of hates the world, but is like still looking for like love. So
I feel like I'm losing it.
You say that a lot. You're the girl who cried crazy.
All right, so my next question.
tied that all up nicely with a little bow.
My next question was going to be the standout character, but I'm taking Mickey might be that person.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there like, so when you think of certain shows, like comedies, I don't know, you think of South Park, you have like Cartman or Randy Marsh, and then Family Guy, you have like Stewie and Brian. A main character, but kind of someone that like steals the show. Is there someone like that that's not Mickey or Gus? Like a friend, like a funny
roommate's
friend.
really
or-
funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm ready for this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the first episode, Mickey gets a roommate who just moved from Australia.
Oh, okay.
Who's like the most bubbly, like naive, like oblivious kind of, but in like she's smart, but she's just kind of like takes everything and is just like, okay, like has like a thick Australian accent. And I think that like if it's not Mickey or Gus, like she's probably like my favorite character. Because also just she, like the way her and Mickey just balance each other out is perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
it's another way for them to show how Mickey is not in the situation with Gus, like the relationship piece. Not that they're in a relationship. I think they get in a relationship like throughout the series, but it's another way to juxtapose Mickey's character and kind of get that across, I think, because she is so bubbly and it's like it really shows, and Mickey just like can't even stand her at points, but she's so nice that like it doesn't, she can't help it. But what's her name in the Birdie? Yeah,
like there's a
thick Australian accent.
Yeah, like I think this isn't a spoiling moment or anything, but there's a scene where like Mickey was mean to her and she tries to confront her about it, and she's like, I can't do this right now, Birdie, like let's talk about this tomorrow. And instead of like pursuing her, she's like, all right, but we're definitely going to talk about it tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to forget, and like just lets her get away with it.
And I'm going to meetings, which I wasn't before, and I think that I'm being honest, and I genuinely do like Gus, so I think it's fine. I think it's just like a funny story.
Yeah, it is actually, it's pretty funny.
All right. What's the strongest aspect of the show? Writing, acting, anything like that stands out?
I think probably the writing,
Yeah.
the way that they, I mean, it's combo with Mickey, but just they write her as this like hot mess and trying to figure it out, and then all the different things about Gus too. They really do a good job, like with that nerdy piece. He's trying to like manage this like diva child actress, and like she gives him all kinds of crap, and he's like trying to like teach her math, and it's like just like a good insight to someone who's trying to like make it in LA, like on a small time like film set job, and it's just a cool perspective, I think. So, but throughout the whole series, it's written really well, I'd say. I don't know. What do you?
I agree. I think the writing definitely, and the acting, but I feel like that's most heavily on Mickey, because I think that she has the most diverse type of character traits, where everyone kind of just stays the same and plays the same character. I think she has to go like really up and then really down sometimes, and she just does it so well, and it's never like not believable. It never comes across as like, oh, this is a TV show. Like, this is a bit much. Yeah, but fun fact about the girl who plays the diva that Gus tutors, that's actually Judd Apatow's real life daughter.
She's in a couple things, isn't she?
A lot of his stuff, she
Yeah.
always plays the child. Both of his daughters, actually.
Right. So like,
Oh wow.
I can't think of them now, but like, this is 40, I think.
Yep.
Those are
that makes sense.
all his
Yeah.
movies. Yeah. So is there anything storytelling or cinematic wise that like stands out?
We were actually
Yeah.
talking about this. Something that's really great is that Gus and Mickey in the beginning, she's really the edgy one and like having a tough time, and he's kind of like presented as this perfect like nerdy guy. And then throughout the 3 seasons, just through what happens in the story and stuff, they almost kind of switch by the end of their finding each other, and like they're getting to know each other and like each other. But in stuff that happens, like she gets better and he progressively kind of gets worse just in stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily stay that way, but the way that they do it is just very like real and cool, and just shows like the developments.
Yeah, Mickey almost has more obvious things that she has to deal with, and so she's fighting these demons, and you're kind of following that story. But at one point, she's like, "Why are you judging me?" You know what I mean? Like, she's like gets fed up with it, because she's actually trying to become better and like work on stuff, and it kind of makes Gus look at like how he treats her and how he himself like carries himself, and he ends up being like, he makes a couple of mistakes with their relationship, and it's just a good like progression of how they kind of learn each other and then learn themselves and change themselves. So it is kind of cool to see how it all plays out.
So I mean, your answers kind of answered my last question. Like, how does the series progress?
I guess it's more of that, those two juxtaposing characters and them figuring out their kind of unlikely relationship and what works and how they change ultimately together.
There are bugs under those cups and I can't kill them.
Because it's like inhumane, or?
Ew, no, because they're gross and I hate them. Inhumane.
It is a good story about love, that like it can be, in unlikely places, unlikely people, and they just they work with each other, and it's not always easy, but they make it interesting for us.
Yeah. And they start to give the supporting characters more of like a storyline in like the 2nd season, and a lot of them have really cool ones too that I really like. Like Birdie gets more, and then some of Gus's friends that are all very like odd and a little weird on their own, like get their own plot line. So yeah, I think that was also really cool that they all started to connect toward the end.
Yeah, I guess I really didn't. I don't know. Maybe this is going the wrong way, but earlier I mentioned that it was Freaks and Geeks, same person. It's almost kind of like like Mickey would be like the freak and Gus would be the geek, and it is kind of along that same genre, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not really like
Yeah.
high school-y like that one. I mean, it's very different, but it does have some of that Judd Apatow like flavor. So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, if that
Yeah.
gives you any context. I
Yeah.
guess.
I'll definitely check it out. I like everything Judd Apatow does.
Yeah, it's a good watch. It's like we were saying, it's easy to. I think it's 30-minute episodes, right?
Yeah.
They go quick and they're funny and
Maybe I'll find a rainy Sunday.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
It's good dramedy to check
Or
in
maybe
on.
next month we'll start having snow days, and
There you go.
that's just a free day off.
I actually
Cool.
have to watch Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah,
You
it's
haven't
really
seen
good.
Freaks? Oh, you gotta see that.
All the people you see in it, you'll be like, oh my god, like
With James Franco's in it.
James
right?
Franco, Seth Rogen, Busy Phillips. I can't think of the main character's name, but she's in so many different things.
Is
Yeah.
that the woman who plays Velma in Scooby-Doo?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
That's like
That's a
almost
callback.
Stranger
I
Things
love her.
without the like Stranger Things like horror theme.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the whole 80s.
The whole like 80s.
It's 80s high school,
kids,
like-
high school. Like you'd love it.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to watch that because I've seen a lot of like memes, I guess, from it. Of like, is there a little brother who's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who like makes that like
And-
grimacing face? I've seen that a lot.
Have you
Oh, yeah.
seen Silicon Valley?
Yep.
You know Guilfoyle, beard and long hair.
Yeah.
Have we all seen Silicon Valley?
I haven't seen the last season or the most recent season.
I don't think I've seen the most
There's
recent season.
I think Sunday the newest season starts, the last season.
Yeah.
But
Look forward to
Guilfoyle.
that.
Have to do that.
Guilfoyle plays a nerd in it, and he's unrecognizable, but he's hysterical.
That's actually what made me watch Silicon Valley. Is I was like, what is this guy in? Like this
Yeah.
is so funny. And then I saw he was in that.
Oh, okay. So I'll
Yeah.
have to check that out
Yeah.
Definitely.
while you
And
check
that's-
out Love.
Actually, it's like a tragedy that it only had 19 episodes and then was canceled in its first season. And you'll watch it and you'll be like, how was this ever canceled? Like,
Yeah.
but then, I mean, Jason Segel's in it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Maybe
It
it was
is,
like
yeah.
ahead of its time.
Well, that's what it was.
Comedy.
It's very similar to Arrested Development, where it was like too smart for being on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my biggest complaint about
It
Arrested
needs
Development.
Netflix.
Yeah.
If it was like a Netflix show now, it'd probably run like
Oh,
5
yeah.
Oh,
seasons.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You gotta check that out.
I'll watch
Yeah,
Love.
there we go.
Perfect.
This was informative for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, now I'll take on the role of asking questions.
Cool. Yeah.
Realize full heart.
Can't lose.
Can't lose.
I'll give you a little. I'll set the table, I guess.
Okay.
Just to give you a little context. So I don't know. Have you seen the movie?
Have you read the
Okay.
book?
There's a book.
Yep.
I didn't
Friday Night
know
Lights
that.
is a whole thing. But what we're specifically talking about is the show. What was
Yeah.
it? What network was it on? 'Cause it was originally on
NBC.
TV.
Fox, maybe?
I tried looking it up and I got like a few
Yeah.
answers.
Oh, I don't know. But anyways, I watched it on Netflix. You
I watched it on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a brother that watched it in real time on TV, but
Yeah.
had a brother. I have that brother still.
It's good. Glad to hear he's doing well. I mean, you kind of get the gist, I'm sure. Like you know, it's football movie or football movie. This is a football show. But yeah, so there's small town, Texas. New coach comes in, and football is everything to this town. Like Friday nights, town shuts down. It's just that like quintessential, like football vibe movie. So, yeah, and I don't know. It follows the players on the team kind of as they go through different things, and
It's a basically like a teen drama.
Yeah.
Like it was geared for high school, college kids, but then you watch it and it's like good. It's really
Yeah.
good. So
right. I guess that's the best way to explain it. Teen drama about this like town that loves their football and the team.
yeah,
So,
and like great actors in it throughout.
yep.
Coach Taylor is, I forget his name. God, I should really start doing research before.
Oh,
these
what do you
shows.
mean?
What his real name is?
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
love
he's great.
Connie Britton, who
Yep.
plays the wife.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Tammy
his
Taylor.
wife. Tammy Taylor.
Yeah.
But it's great because it's has all this, like, the town really cares, and there's creepy, annoying boosters who, there's one specifically, like, the one character holdover from the movie, he played a booster in the movie, and he plays a booster in the show. Yet, you like, through the course of the show, you're like, I don't like this guy, and then you're like, actually, you know what, I think I like Buddy Garrity.
Buddy Garrity, yeah.
But, yeah, and then another school gets involved, and...
So yeah, this is we're kind of jumping ahead, maybe, I don't know, but this is one series where they like outgrow the high school almost. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and then
okay.
they pivot the series to like another age group or
school.
like new group of characters, basically.
Yeah.
And
Keeping-
it works.
And
Yeah.
it does. I mean, the coach
That's
stayed. So the coach ended up switching schools,
Oh,
and
spoiler alert.
well, it's fine.
Jeez.
We said that Jon Snow stabs Daenerys in.
Yeah, but we had all seen it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah, he ends up switching schools and becomes a coach there
Okay.
at like season 5 or something,
Yeah, 4 or 5.
4 or 5. So it's rare that like there's that big of a pivot in a show, but this one did it
And
did it pretty well.
Don't pay attention to the characters, what class they're in, because they might bend that a little bit to
Yeah.
keep the characters in the show longer. But
True.
I will say,
okay.
pretty much every character that's in the first season, their storyline stays throughout. Like,
Yeah.
post high school, they're still involved in the show.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, 3 years, we're just done with you. We're going to just try and introduce these new characters, because that can be bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I was gonna ask, like, I feel like there's a lot of shows and movies about football and the new coach comes and like how he deals with it. So I was gonna ask, how does it stand out? But I feel like just even the fact that they do kind of pivot the plot
Yeah.
is a huge thing, because
That is
usually
huge,
it's
yeah.
that's not the case, and they do it, it usually doesn't work. I feel like that's when shows kind of start to like go down.
Yeah, I feel
"Oh,
like
miss the old characters."
I fell in love with the new characters, but I was like, I wish those other were still in it. You know
original.
what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
Like that's kind of how it goes, but you're definitely happy with the way they take
And
it.
if the coach like
Yeah,
his family, I'm
right.
assuming, is always in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've
Yeah.
heard good things about those characters. I know my
Michael B.
sister
Jordan.
loved it.
He
Yeah.
the
That was kind of one of his bigger starting out roles, right?
yeah, I'd say The Wire.
Oh.
He was in a couple seasons, and then he was in this.
Is he
and
a
then,
new character at the
Yeah,
end?
he comes at the end.
He becomes pretty much the main character in this
Right.
after the pivot of the.
Yeah,
Oh, all
Yeah.
right.
Vince.
I like him. He's good.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
great! Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Landry is now like a huge star, which is funny. So this character Landry is kind of throughout it. He's like the funny friend.
Yeah.
He's
He's
just
not
that
on the
character.
football team.
Right. He's just he's the funny friend that like he's friends with the quarterback and all that stuff. But now he's like one of the biggest stars that's come out of that show.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in a lot of things.
Him
He
and
was
Michael
in
B. Jordan. He was in
a couple
the
Black Mirror episodes, right?
Yep, he was in The Post, if you ever saw that, with Tom Hanks.
Is he like blonde with kind of longish hair?
Jesse Plemons, he's...
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was he in like the Black Mirror episode with the video game?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
He
is
like
a lot of
controls the video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, yeah, he
Yep.
controls it, and
So
it's like his little
stuff. He's
world.
in a lot.
I would say this
Yeah.
came out when it might have been like 06, 07. I was still in high school.
That's why we call it a classic.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was such a burn. Oh my God. Pull the fire alarm. Jeez. Whew. You were also in high school.
That's why
God.
it's funny.
You were probably
It's a little
taking class
joke.
in this room.
Probably.
God. Oh,
Oh God.
jeez. You need some balm.
It is a classic though.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
God.
my sister, who's your age, watching it. I think was it live when you guys were in high school? It was on air.
Well, so it started in like I might have been a junior or senior, so it would make sense it ran 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I remember, and that was something she rewatched all the time, like in the kitchen with like her little Kindle, and I was always like, turn it off. But
Yeah.
so she's a huge fan of
Oh,
like,
good.
things.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the strongest part of it? Is it the characters?
I think it kind of gives you that I don't know, the high school nostalgia type feel, like, I don't know, especially with football and like the fall and tradition. I don't know, it's kind of get that vibe that I think a lot of people kind of gravitate to. It's like I don't even like ex-football players or anybody who played sports in high school. It's kind of like a throwback in that kind of sense. So it definitely has that vibe. Like I love firing it up. Like, when at the start of football season, I'll like watch one of the episodes again. Just be like, wow, I love football and like all this. I think there's like so much to it.
I think they nail the high school to adult relationship. Like the Taylors. So Tammy Taylor, Connie Britton, is an administrator in a high school, and separate from like the football stuff, the stuff she has to deal with is just like you're dealing with parents and the kids, and then like
she's a guidance counselor. I
yeah,
think,
guidance
right?
counselor. Yeah, so she's dealing with all that, and then you have the coach dealing with all the football stuff, the boosters, the kids trying to stay on the team, all that crap. So they really nail the whole dynamic of what it must be like. I mean, we work in a high school, so we kind of know, like, dealing with the kids, and then you deal with a parent, and then things like that.
And they also, I mean, the crux of it is this like underdog team from the start, and how they like became great, and the work they put in, and like all those epic movies that they have, Miracle and Remember the Titans, like they all have that kind of like story of how they all came together, right? But I mean, it's fun to watch. It gives you that camaraderie, that feel good, those great coach stands where they like, really get everyone to come together, and it's like intense, and I don't know, it's kind of it's a good feeling, so Coach Taylor kind of brings that to this team, and it's a good like progression to follow them, and again, spoilers, but I think was the first game or something, the
very first, like 10 minutes into the show.
Yeah, the star quarterback gets paralyzed. So
wow.
Yeah.
So it changed.
Spoiler, but that's kind of how it like starts, and then it's like now we've got to rebuild them back.
I mean,
and
spoiler alert, it's 10 minutes in.
But that throws you right into this, like how's this team going to respond? How's this town going to respond? And like this freshman quarterback has to step up and learn and like take on this role, and how the team around him functions, and then how the town around them functions. When that's all they really care about in this like town, it's a huge deal, and that's kind of why they like have to come together and figure it out. So yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
Is it one of those like football stories where like when he starts coaching, is there like resistance from like the town? Because I feel like that's a common.
That kind of eventually happens. At first, it's just like he's the coach, he's in there, and he's working with everyone. He has this star quarterback, so they're expected to be great. But then in later seasons, you just have the kid that becomes a quarterback. He gets challenged by this rich kid, hotshot, whose dad is spending a bunch of money on the school, and the coach has to deal with that. There's like the hotshot running back. There's two running backs. So hotshot running back, and then the one that parties too much and is just like drives his beat up pickup truck around. So it kind of has all the sports movie cliches, but they work.
Yeah.
Because so if you saw the movie, they just kind of took these characters
and kind of rounded them out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you were saying before, there's the football piece, and then there's the like teen drama piece. So there's relationships and heartbreaks and new relationships and family dynamics. One of them, the parents aren't in the picture, and like there's just like all these different characters that you get to follow and see how they're dealing with this, like the pressure of town and school and everything, and then the how they are when they bring it to the football field. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Is there a character that stood out to you the most, do you think?
Tim Riggins.
You can say Tim Riggins. I like Tim Riggins too, but I'll say somebody else. Why do you like Tim Riggins?
Yeah, no, Tim Riggins is that party too hard character, and he started as just like a character, but I think it was one of those things the writers and showrunners and everything were like, oh, okay, everyone loves Tim Riggins, and they made him into like the big name star of the show, kind of. Like, there's also like Coach Taylor, but I think Tim Riggins is just like the one people think the most about when you think of the show.
Yeah, I mean he's like that tough guy, but he's got a lot of hidden struggles.
Right, with his family
and he ends up just being this like pretty solid dude, even though he's struggling with all this stuff. And I think people can just like get behind him and feel like they connect with that character, so he's great. And then I like Matt Saracen, who is this kid, not a freshman in high school, and all of a sudden has to be the like starting quarterback. And so there's all this pressure on him, and he goes from like being real timid to having those big moments with the coach and with the team where he starts to break through, and then it's just these ups and downs of that progression and his struggles through it, and just get some great moments, and you fall in love with him too. So
so it's funny because he has like real bad family stuff. His mom like yells at him and pushes him to like be better at football, but she's also like, she has mental health issues. And then his dad's deployed like the whole series, and they might even be separated, but he is basically the same character as the movie, Mike Winchell.
Yeah.
And then who was based on a real guy from the book. So that's like gone down. So that character is kind of the one from the book that was written in the 80s about the actual high school.
Right.
So it's just interesting because they took that and really expanded it.
Yeah. Those are probably the two big characters, is Tim Riggins and Matt Saracen.
And then there's Coach Taylor overseeing everything.
Yeah.
And then, as we said, it kind of Coach Taylor ends up leaving this school as those kind of people graduate, and he goes to another school, and that's when Michael B. Jordan comes along, and he's kind of, again, a struggle story where he becomes, a starter on this football team, and he has to kind of figure it out. So
that's cool that, so it's kind of at least loosely based on a real story?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing is loosely based off that book of the 1988, like, Odessa Permian football
Panthers.
team. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's
Did they win
a
the
lot
state
of
championship?
viewers.
No,
No.
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, they lose to Dallas Carter.
Right.
Not quite as dramatically as the movie, but
Right. But so it's this big like underdog story. They come up, and then they make it to the States, and then they lose, and it's like, oh, it's crazy.
Oh, that's cool. I had no idea.
yeah, the movie's really good.
Yeah, both are good.
Yeah.
The show adds obviously the drawn out, like a lot more relationships and that stuff.
The movie's kind of strictly like, here are these 4 characters, and here's their story playing football.
Yeah.
And here the town is crazy.
I would recommend both.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Do you
really
have to
both are
see
classics.
the movie to really okay.
Nope.
No.
The only thing you'll notice from the movie in that is Buddy Garrity, the
The
booster.
one character.
And I know we like talked. It's a lot about that football and that like rah feeling, but I think this show is anybody could watch it and
Oh yeah.
love it and connect with characters and get that kind of feeling from it. I think that's why it was so successful, and a lot of people regard it as like a classic because it covers it all kind of. It's a good story.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, it's not a connected show at all, but I feel like from like when that came out to like 2015, it was like a genre of shows like Parenthood. Did you ever like hear of Parenthood?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
had like an ensemble cast. Where like I feel like they were doing a lot of those types of shows where it was just like feel good
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
about characters.
Right.
And I love those kind of shows. Like those are the best. Where it's not really like stressful. You can kind of just like
Yeah.
be happy and like
Yeah.
yeah.
Season 2, if and when you do watch it, ends abruptly because of the writer's strike. So there's like
Oh yeah.
10
that's right.
episodes or something, and it's just like they win a game in the rain or something, and it's just like season 3, and you're like, what? Like
yeah.
nothing happened.
I remember that. That was disappointing.
It's like the first season of Breaking Bad. It was like 7 episodes because of the writer's strike. It was that same time.
Oh, okay. I was wondering that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Is there usually like 20 episodes per season? or
Yeah, it's
something?
like one of those network shows that is around 20 episodes. Side note, the writer's strike saved Jesse's character in Breaking Bad. They were going to kill him off in season 1.
What?
And then
Wow.
fast forward like 3 years later, he wins Best Supporting Actor Emmy.
Yeah, like so much of the show just heavily relies on Jesse's character.
Yeah, they were going
That's
to kill
crazy.
him in season 1.
I didn't know.
But that's for Breaking Bad.
Wow.
Coming up on a
Yeah.
future episode of Stream It.
I'll really hustle and finish that one. All right, wow.
Yeah, so that's Friday Night Lights is great. It's one of those ones I watched in college, and now I'm like, I could burn through that again.
I know. That's one I would definitely go back to if that says anything to.
I think
Yeah.
it's on Prime and Hulu now when I looked it up.
Oh,
So
it's not on Netflix anymore.
I don't think so. Maybe it is.
I don't know. I mean,
But-
they do turn over stuff.
Yeah,
like-
it probably will be back, I'm assuming. It seems
Yeah.
like one of those shows.
yeah.
But like Parenthood just left Netflix. I didn't even finish it. But I think I think it's on Hulu. But yeah, Hulu's getting all of those network shows.
Yeah.
lately.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah. All right. So we can take a quick break and then come back with just some news about streaming services and what's going on with that.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
We'll
good.
be right back. All right, we are back. And just in the world of streaming, I guess, there's a lot going on this month. Apple
Yeah.
TV comes out tomorrow.
Wow.
Halloween.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I had no idea about that. I didn't know about some of the things you wrote down on this little show sheet. Got me excited.
Oh, wait, I'm wrong. It comes out Friday,
Oh, okay.
November 1st. I forgot tomorrow was Halloween.
Oh.
I saw November 1st and I kind of thought it was tomorrow. So.
That's still fun.
It's coming up.
But it's Friday. 2 days. Yeah, I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to come out next year after Disney Plus had kind of had its big opening, but they're directly within a week of each other.
Yeah.
Two of
That's-
like the most anticipated ones.
That's a bold strategy.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of you have updated your computers here at the school. I did yesterday, and right at the bottom on the dock is that thing for Apple TV. So they're just like putting it right in your face. So
Oh.
yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea that's what like how they were doing it. And do you know? I know we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I think. what's the Apple deal? So if you're an Apple, so like we all have Apple IDs because we all have like iPhones and stuff.
Right.
Do you need to buy a new device?
Yes, and it's not all of them. I think it's like if you buy an iPhone, a laptop, and then like maybe it's like a tablet.
Oh,
There's like
okay.
they have a
You
list.
get a subscription
You get a
to
year
the
free,
service.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it just automatically keeps going if you want it to.
It's a little confusing because there's an Apple like TV app that will navigate you to shows from Prime, from Netflix, from you know what I mean. It's kind of like a hub, like the Apple TV device is, but there's like an app for it. This, I think, the Apple TV Plus would be in a subscription that would, you know what I mean, like another. I don't know if it's another app or something you can subscribe through the app that I was just talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you go into like the Apple TV app, and
Yeah.
in there's Apple TV Plus.
Right, and your Prime subscription. And
I'm
your
sure
this
that's how they'll do
You know
it,
what I
yeah.
mean? So it's kind of like a hub, and then it also has its own original stuff that you can get through that hub. The way I understand it, anyways.
It's only $4.99 too per month.
Oh, really?
Which is pretty cheap.
It's a steal.
It's like $5 cheaper than everything else.
That's definitely enough to like get it for a month or two and see if you like their 4 or 5 new shows, and then if you kind of
Yeah. I think that's what we were kind of talking about last time was where does it go from here? So they have a couple of new shows that you know, I've seen some trailers, they look good. But like then what? Is it going to be like Netflix? Is it going to be like, you know, where are they just going to have original content on there like HBO? Or are they going to, you know, get shows from other places? So definitely interesting to see how that kind of progresses. But based on what we were just saying about the hub, maybe that's kind of their play where you can go here, get access to all of your other subscriptions, and you can grab like these couple of shows for a small price. So
Yeah, I bet they'll stick with their kind of just original content, and then make you go to like the Apple Store if you want to rent an Avengers movie.
yeah.
You know, because that's just $5 extra to rent that Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
It'll be weird that they're all going to start competing now, and stuff that's available like on one service, like now that everything's getting their own, they're all just going to have to give it up to like Disney, or it'll be weird when it starts to overlap with each other.
Yeah.
Because there's a Disney Plus ad that's always on Hulu. Like whenever there's a commercial break, it's always Disney Plus, which I wouldn't have thought that they'd want to be like promoting technically a competitor, but
yeah, but who knows? Like,
Does Disney own Hulu?
yeah, I was just gonna say
probably do.
it's under that umbrella.
and I guess it's separate enough. Hulu has a lot of like non-Disney content, so it's
Right.
probably not really worried.
Yeah.
I don't think it had much Disney stuff anyways.
No, I think they'll be hurt by Peacock and CBS, whatever they're calling theirs.
Yeah.
That's who'll hurt Hulu, because that's what you watch. You watch like a show that you didn't get to see, or you catch up on
Yeah.
a bunch.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's going to be a little bit crazy, and it makes more sense that Apple's kind of taking that approach where it's like a hub. You know what I mean? Because it sounds crazy to have all these different things, but what if you just go on Apple and search a show, and it's like with your subscription you can watch it here. You know what I mean? Like they kind of tee it up for you, if that's what they're going for. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I did see something on Instagram, and I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is, take it however you want it, like the ratings, because I mean, we could go in there and we like just don't like a movie and put something, but so you have listed the content for the Apple Plus. The morning show in C did not have good reviews based on the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but Dickinson and For All Mankind, which I think is a show about the Russians beat us to the moon, and it's America being in second place and trying to get there. I think that's what the premise of the show is.
Space race.
Yeah. So Dickinson,
Good old US of A.
Dickinson and For All Mankind both had 88%. So like people are saying those are pretty darn good. And then I didn't see anything for
Wow.
Truth Be Told, but
The trailer looked really good for that. I hadn't heard of it until I started looking these up. But it has a really good cast.
yeah, I like Aaron Paul and Octavia
Yeah.
Spencer. So
It's crazy that the morning show is the one getting all of the publicity.
yeah, I've seen a couple Dickinson.
Yeah. I mean, Jennifer Aniston and is Reese Witherspoon in that
Reese
one too?
Witherspoon,
Steve
Steve
Carell.
Carell.
So that's probably why they're
Yeah,
they're
floating the big
carrying it.
names. Yeah.
Right. And I wonder if it's you put those three together with whoever else is in the cast, like you expect so much.
Yeah, a wilderness show with Jason Momoa, and all of a sudden you've got a trailer for
Yeah.
a new service.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Put some furs on Jason Momoa and have him walk around with an axe. There you go. There's your trailer.
Yeah. I think, too, the morning show, I don't know the entire plot of it, but I know that Steve Carell's character kind of touches upon, like, real world stuff that's been going on with, like, the Me Too movement. So maybe, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion on, like, did they do it justice? Like,
Yeah.
or, you know,
Interesting.
having a character like that, like, you got to write it very well.
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That'll be, I'm still curious to watch it, I think. Just
Yeah.
for the cast.
Well, if it's only $4.99, it's worth
Yeah.
checking
Yeah.
out.
And then get rid of it if
Like,
you don't like it.
exactly.
And speaking of Peacock, real quick, we were just talking about how if you're already a Comcast customer, you get it for free, it sounds like.
And
Which,
as
yeah.
a Comcast customer, not knowing that, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if are they going to do like big original programming like Stranger Things, or is it just going to be like, I can watch The Office?
I'm not entirely sure. I know they're getting all of the stuff they already own is going to be there. They're rebooting. Is that was Saved by the Bell on NBC? Because they're
I think
rebooting
you're right.
a lot of older
I did know they were,
classics.
yeah.
I would expect the NBC one to. I don't know if they're a big enough like studio in the sense of TV to maybe making like.
Like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're more like a sitcom or a This
Right.
Is Us.
I mean, they're huge as far as
Oh,
Right.
that's right.
TV,
This is
but-
us.
yeah,
But stuff
it's-
like that.
They've never seen them do like.
Yeah.
I mean, if Parks and Rec and The Office are going to go off Netflix and onto Peacock and I just get it for free, I'm fine. That's worth
Yeah,
it.
there you
That's
go.
worth
Yeah, I feel like right now I would go to Hulu for most of the NBC stuff.
Right.
So I'm curious to see how that plays out because if I want to watch Saturday Night Live, Hulu. If I'm going to watch, is Parks and Rec on there or any of those current shows? I think.
They
Like-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
It's a big one.
they took that from Fox, which was genius.
Yeah, so any of those shows that are like kind of on TV right now, that's where I would go to watch like the recent episodes.
Yeah.
So when this comes out, the Peacock streaming, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Hulu because they have a lot of those like current shows on there, you know?
And they
So-
definitely have the connection NBC does with all of the awesome cast members of all of the NBC shows. So if they
Yeah.
ever did make original content, I'd probably watch it just because they can probably ask, like,
Yeah.
people who are in The
Yeah.
Office are going to be in this new show, and
Right,
Amy
right,
Poehler.
right.
Right. Yeah, and I'm actually, it would be really cool if they put like the library of Saturday Night Live, so you could go back and watch like the Will Ferrell years.
They are.
they
I
are?
think they're getting every single season of
That's awesome.
SNL.
Wow.
That's so cool to just go back and watch like those glory years.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I think that was one of their biggest like leading
Right.
marketing
Oh,
things
yeah.
was
Yeah.
we're getting all of SNL.
It's going to be crazy. Everything's going to be.
Yeah. When Netflix started streaming, they had the old SNLs, and I watched a couple, and it's like
Yeah.
it's interesting how much it's changed compared to how much it's
definitely.
kind of stayed the same.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like the best of Chris Farley
Oh, yeah.
sketches?
Yeah.
Like
My
a
dad had
1,000
DVD.
times.
We
Yeah.
used to watch as a kid. And the it's so different, but
Yeah.
like it's so good. Like
Yeah.
He was like the first celebrity I was like, wow, I'm genuinely sad when he died.
Right.
I was like a little kid, but
Yeah.
I loved him. Like Tommy Boy and all that stuff.
Sure, yeah.
he's so funny in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I also saw that somewhere, I think it was on Twitter, AT&T is spending $3 billion on the launch of HBO Max. So
What's that?
that's HBO is so. I think
They
HBO
have
Now,
HBO
and
Go and HBO Now, and now
Yeah.
they have HBO Max.
HBO Max is going to have everything, the entire library of original content going back to like
Oh.
maybe the 80s. I don't know exactly when HBO started, but all that, and then it's owned by a bigger company. I want to say Viacom or something. So anything like under that umbrella will be on. Like I saw today, Friends is going to be on HBO Max because whoever
Right.
produced it, what I don't know, but it's going to be huge. And I saw another thing of all the streaming services prices, and it's like $16 a month, and it must be because they're just going to have everything.
Because it's HBO.
Right. And who I don't know, but you might be able to stream live. So like if you want to watch Westworld, you can probably stream it live on HBO Max. Because that you need HBO Now for that, right? Or Go.
HBO Go right now, you can start
Yeah.
it within at the time it's available. Yeah.
So yeah, HBO Max is another one that's. I think it's gonna be huge.
Wow. This is gonna get. People are gonna need this show right here, so you can figure out how to handle all
Exactly.
This was the best time to make this show with everything happening.
this. Just don't stream it.
Don't even bother.
Go back to cable.
Yeah.
No, we'll get you through it.
Go.
Stick with us.
Just gotta go see a financial planner to figure out which ones to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, because I wonder if with HBO Max you could maybe get rid of HBO Go.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
Yeah, like drop
Yeah.
2 of them for this one.
It's wild.
All right, yeah. We'll see what happens.
There's too much content. We're gonna have to start doing this bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Oh wait, twice a week, not bi-weekly.
I know what you meant.
Bi-weekly and have like 2-hour episodes.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll watch Love. I'll watch Friday Night Lights.
I'll just keep bringing the hot takes.
Yeah, you'll just keep binging in one day and tell us what to
Yeah.
watch. All right, well, that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time on Stream It.
Yes.
It's now the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
And it's a graveyard smash.
It's now the mash.
It's caught on in a flash.
It's now the mash.
It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool. Drax a part of the